Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to be doing our daily technical analysis update of commodities, working our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals, and the commodities and ETFs that I follow. I'm going to interject my financial opinions. If you guys like this type of analysis or need help with anything else, you can definitely check out finding-value.com and become a platinum member and join our community. We do have a midweek update being released today on the website. So check it out if you're a member. So let's dive in. Let's take a look and see what is going on today. We've got the DXY up right now, and it is launching higher. So generally speaking, again, DXY higher, yields are generally going higher under this same type of scenario. Yields have been extremely volatile here in the short term. We've seen a pretty dramatic move to the upside in yields, and that generally doesn't happen in a recession or a slowdown. So is the debt ceiling? Are people getting worried? Are they selling bonds, getting the heck out of Dodge? I don't know if that's the case, if the debt ceiling is scaring people. Maybe it is. But we are definitely seeing yields go higher. And this is going to shift money away from a lot of stocks and bonds. Well, obviously bonds, because that's what's causing the yields to go up. But stocks will also, money will rotate out of it. So we're seeing incredible strength in the DXY off the bounce of this support level, the white line on the bottom there. We've got the 2-year yield launching higher today, up 1.32%. That's putting a lot of pressure on the markets to go lower. So we're seeing this move up. You can see it's been a very large move over the past few weeks for yields. If you zoom out a little bit, you can see kind of a shoulder, head, shoulder. And I'm not claiming that's what's going to happen. I said it's a possibility. If a recession is coming, we would see this turn and go lower. That has been the general rule of thumb. When a slowdown or recession comes, we see a pullback in yields. People run to bonds. We aren't seeing that in the short term here. We've seen a massive move higher in yields. And the yield curve's inverting, which means the shorter end is moving up faster than the long end. That puts a lot of strain on the overall stock market and a lot of strength into the dollar. So the 10-year also higher today. There it is today. We gapped lower in the morning. So we saw that original weakness, but sellers came in, sold the market off, increasing yields higher. So we still got, we got that original move lower, but the selling pressure came in and pushed it on up. That also happened in the 30-year yield. So we had a reversal candlestick yesterday. It gapped lower, and then the momentum's going to the upside. So selling pressure still is being exhibited in all ends of this curve. The 2-year, the 10-year, and the 30-year. And that's putting pressure definitely on precious metals to go lower. It's putting pressure on the dollar to go higher. And the overall stock market's gonna weigh on these yields are gonna weigh on the overall stock market to go lower. TYX TNX ratio moving a little bit lower. The yield curve is inverting a little bit. That's going to put more pressure on precious metals. Bond prices. This is surprising, guys. We had a nice little reversal candlestick yesterday, and now it reversed to go lower today. Huge volatility here. And does the debt ceiling have something to do with this? No one's going to know with 100% certainty, but I would guess yes. And we could see, if we don't resolve something, we could see a drastic move lower in bond prices. We would also see a drastic move lower in the overall stock market with yields going on up. Gold heading lower, $16, and we're still above support. So it's nothing really to worry about, but if yields continue higher, we could see gold getting weighed down. And that goes for silver as well. Silver's selling off. You can see yields are having an impact on these precious metals prices. Same with platinum. It's weighing on it. And a function of the price of these is the creation of credit and money. And right now, the government is not creating money. They are up against a debt ceiling. The XAU to gold ratio also falling. We can see that oil prices going up, gold prices, silver prices going down. That's going to weigh on the margins of some of these mining companies. CRB index up 0.57%. This still looks good to, I don't know what. Short term, we've been moving sideways kind of in this kind of channel here. And we're just going back and forth, back and forth. And I don't know which way we're going to break here. We're going to have to wait and see. It looks good in the short term to go higher, but we haven't really broken anything of any importance to say that we're going to go up or down. We've just been trending sideways. The CRB to S&P 500, CRB index is up. Looks like we're trying to put in some sort of bottom. I'm not claiming that will necessarily be the case, but it looks like it is. And we're above that 0.618 fib retracement level from top to bottom here of this move off the bottom here. GDX down. That does look like we could go lower if those yields continue on up. And that will be extended across all of these. GDXJ and SILJ all exhibiting strong selling pressure. We could go down further if those yields continue higher. If we don't get resolution and they don't print money, we could see yields rocket launch here to the upside, which we are seeing. Crude oil, that is a friend generally of increasing interest rates. Crude oil doesn't care about increasing interest rates. In fact, it's generally correlated to increasing interest rates and oil going higher. But we were up today 1.3%. We can see we're kind of at this resistance area. Hopefully we can stay on top of it, move on up. We had a massive deficit, guys, in product draws. Gasoline was down 6 million barrels. Oil was down 6 million barrels. We were down in distillates 1 point something million. SPR release was 1.6 million or something like that. We're going to eat through inventory massively here. So the physical side's getting real tight on oil. We'll see how this is going to impact price, given the market conditions of where we are with the debt ceiling. Natural gas heading higher today. It does look like it wants to go up. We had one large increasing day, 3 days to pull back within it. That generally works its way higher. So it still looks good. Sideways to higher. XOP, yeah, you know me. We are coming up against this resistance line. We'll see which way we break here. Do we have a little bit further to go sideways, or are we going to chop and break on out? Don't know. Don't care in the short term. We'll watch it and see what happens. OIH also up. We've broken that downtrend, and it looks solid. But it highly depends on what the debt ceiling is and where yields go. Yields are going to determine where the pricing of a lot of these assets are going to go. If yields go back down, the overall market will go up. Precious metals will get a boost underneath it. If yields continue higher, I think oil will do well, and it could weigh on the rest of the market. Looking at the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust, again, we had some selling pressure through here. This does look like we could head a little bit lower in the short term for the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust. URNM is also following suit, but it doesn't look too bad. We've got the Green Army here, and we've got small red candlesticks. These little guys, it generally means that the selling pressure isn't too large over here. It's mainly buyers in the circle here. That generally indicates a probability of moving higher, not lower. But the overall market can overpower this move if it decides to do a debt ceiling, no debt ceiling raise or whatever the heck they're going to do. URNJ also selling off a little bit more extreme than URNM. TAN still moving sideways. This thing is consolidating for a good long period of time. If it decides to show up here, there it is, consolidate and consolidate. Copper still seeing weakness here. I do think it will continue lower in the short term. If yields continue higher and people are scared of the debt ceiling and whatever else they're scared of, this will continue. I see no buying pressure in here. I think it will continue lower until we get down to this support level of $29, $30. Lithium down a little bit, but still within the pattern. And REMX is the same way, still within the pattern, but we are seeing some weakness in selling pressure. S&P 500 down a little bit. It's still holding together quite well given the debt ceiling and all that stuff. Again, we'll see where we're going to go here. It's highly dependent on yields. NASDAQ pulling back a little bit, but actually sitting on top of support. I think it actually looks good. As weird as that sounds. EEM heading a little bit lower. If the dollar continues on up, EEM will continue lower. This is basically a currency play at this point. XHB slightly lower, but it's holding its ground right where it's at. MOO starting to accelerate lower. That is something that we were going to say down into the $70 range is where I think it's going to go. It definitely looks like it wants to go there. Copper looking very weak, and this is generally an indication of economic weakness. So to me, by looking at this, I would be slow to move on a lot of different stocks in the market. I would wait for this to strengthen up a little bit. But we've seen other moves here in copper as well, where it weakened in 2022. Iron ore slightly lower today, but it's still in this general vicinity of support. Nickel lower, and we could see this head lower. The base metals with economic weakness, we could see weakness across all the base metals. Aluminum also a little bit weaker. We are coming to support on aluminum, so we'll see if we get support kind of right where it's at. Baltic Dry Index slightly lower. Again, this is base metal weakness is going to show up in the Baltic Dry Index. We're also getting weakness in coal and other areas. Here's coal. Coal's still moving sideways. It's trying to base out in this general vicinity or area. Ethereum, lower 2.6%, and same with Bitcoin, down 3%. But that still is on top of support, still looks fine for both of those. So that's what we've got for today, guys. That's the market update. Getting more selling pressure out in the market, getting a little bit uglier. And if we don't do anything with the debt ceiling, we could see a large sell-off in everything. So tough to say what's going to happen. Don't know. I know some people are going to try to time this. I'm not. I'm just going to ride through whatever it's going to do. If we get a big pullback, well, it looks like I'm going to buy more, I guess. But that's what's going on in the markets right now. The housing market is pretty resilient. And I don't think this is a crash from the real estate market. This is a crash from a bunch of garbage that needs to get cleansed out of the system from an increasing interest rate environment. And it could be across the board. It could be businesses, commercial real estate, whatever it is. There's going to be some stuff that gets flushed out of the system. After this flush out, I think we're going to see a big move in the metals and in a lot of these commodities. It'll be the bottom of wave 2. This is the bear trap, and it's going to trap a lot of people, probably get them all mixed up, get them going getting them going the wrong direction. And it's going to rip it to the upside at some point. And I'm not saying it's going to do it immediately, but this is the bear trap. This is where we're at. We're early in this commodity bull market, and it's going to get a lot of people. But we could go down further for a period of time, and we'll see what happens. Again, short term, anything can happen, guys. We got this debt ceiling right ahead of us. No one knows what the resolution will be, and right now, the markets don't know where to go. But that's what we got for the short term. Give me a thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the website if you'd like. Join our community. You can use the word discount in the coupon code if you'd like. And we'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.